Gamers Paradise here, and as you can see, we're reviewing something. The new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links box, mini box coming out in a week? No, 5 days. Coming out in 5 days. Now, first of all, you're probably wondering, why the hell is there randomly Duel Links on here now? First you have Poke MMO, and now you got this? Yes, we got multiple uploads. Today's usually going to be a Yu-Gi-Oh! Day. So if you like Yu-Gi-Oh!, come on. Let's go over the box review. This might be more later. Right now, we're just reviewing the box. So let's get the hell out of this shit, because I don't need them to explain it. So URs for the box. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, Abyss Dweller, and Photon Thrasher. Now going off of just the URs, definitive one, like you gotta go through the box one time, one rotation. Ignoring the Galaxy stuff for now, we're just gonna look at generic stuff. Abyss Dweller in real Yu-Gi-Oh! Was basically a staple for the XYZ era. Being able to turn off your opponent's graveyard effects during either player's turn is fucking amazing. Now, considering the format we're in now, this is also going to be great. It fucks with Blue Eyes. It fucks with Noble Knights when the king goes to the graveyard. It basically, literally anything. If it involves a graveyard, you need this. And the two most important meta decks right now, or really main important meta deck, Noble Knights, if you turn off their graveyard, that kills a lot of their cards. If you can go into rank 4s, you will want and need Abyss Dweller. That goes also for Noble Knights. You might, if you know you're playing Blue Eyes or something, it might be better to go turn one Abyss Dweller and not just go into Sacred King, because you could lock them down and then go and do something your next turn. So based on just Abyss Dweller alone, this box is a guaranteed one of rotation until you get the Dweller. Now, we'll look at the other two URs. Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Again, I'm not going to read the effect. You can read it right there. I'm going to hope that you understand how to read the cards. I apologize. You know what? I shall read it because I already know Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. I already know y'all. So for Abyss Dweller, 2 level 4 monsters. While this card has an Xyz material attached that was originally water, all water monsters you control gain 500 attack. Don't worry about that. Hardly ever happens. Then once per turn during your player's turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card. Any card effects that activating your opponent's graveyard cannot be activated this turn. That is fucking amazing. Just absolutely amazing. Now, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. If you are a Photon player or a Galaxy player, you have to go through the box 3 times. You need the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. So, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon's effect is you can special summon this card from your hand by summoning 2 monsters with 2,000 or more attack. During either player's battle step, when this card battles an opponent's monster, you can target the monster this card is battling, banish both the opponent's monster and this card. At the end of the battle phase, return the monsters banished by this effect to the field. If the other monster was an Xyz material, this gains 500 for each Xyz material it had when it was banished. Again, might be really good with the Xyz focused decks. You mainly just need it because it is their boss monster now, and we might get their Xyz maybe with kites unlocked tomorrow night. The last UR in the box is Photon Thrasher. Again, he's a really, really good generic level 4. He was used a lot in actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Along with Kagetokage and Goblinberg for rank 4 spam. And he's a light warrior, which makes him really good in generic. His effectives cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summoned from your hand while you control no monsters. If you control another monster, this card cannot attack. So if you have anything else, kind of sucks for damage-wise, but he's a 2100 body, he's a level 4, he's a warrior and a light. Really good. It also means if we ever get Macabre for any motherfucking reason for Invoked, they get to have this bastard now, because Invoked will never die. I hope you understand this. So, going to the box one time if you just want all the Xyz. If you care about getting stuff for a rank 4 spam deck, go through it 3 times for Thrasher. Same for if you play Photons. Dweller alone, I give the URs 10 out of 10 because Dweller is in it, and Dweller is stupid. Next up, starting with the SRs, Photon Strike Bouncer. Very good rank 6. Incredible. Great for Thunder Dragons. Its effect is, it just requires 2 level 6 monsters. It's generic, which is also perfect. Once per turn during a player's turn, when a monster effect is activated on your opponent's side of the field, attach 1 Xyz material from this card, negate the effect, and if you do, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Who cares about the burn damage? That's not a big deal. That's an extra 1,000 damage if you get both of them off. So, like, that's not bad. Kind of cowboyish the game if you need. But the main part is it's a quick play negation. Now, it's not going to negate everything. Like, continuous effects aren't going to be negated. So that is where focus force will be better in those situations. But Bouncer in general is better being a generic quick play negation for anything they activate. Like, McJaw activates its effect, you negate, and there's the end of that turn. Like, that's the end of it. And on the flip side, though, it won't really. I'm trying to give a good example where focus force would be better. Like, effects that don't activate or resolve on field would be like focus force would end up being better because this has to be on field. But still, Bouncer was amazing. Great turn one play for Thunder Dragons. It's really good. Bouncer is again another top fucking great card I like in this mini box. Gets me really excited for the mini box actually. Again, recommend going through as a one of to get the Bouncer. I don't know if you need more than one. Next up, this is where we start getting into exciting territory. Ghost Trick Alucard. Just requires 2 level 3 monsters. Now, you've seen the other Ghost Trick cards in Duel Links. You're going to be like, the fuck does it matter that they got an Xyz? They suck. Yes, fuck Ghost Tricks. We just care that he's a generic rank 3. So, first up, monsters your opponent controls cannot target face-up Ghost Trick monsters or any face-down defense position monsters for attacks except this one. It might come in handy if you have a face-down defense position monster for something, or if you get Book of Moon, then at least he automatically protects that other monster. Otherwise, it's like, it's not that great unless you're playing Ghost Tricks, which still have the field spell, so we don't give a fuck about Ghost Tricks. The next part of the effect is what's good. You can attach one Xyz material from this card, then target one set card your opponent controls and destroy that target. You can only use this effect of Ghost Trick Alucard once per turn. If this card is sent to the graveyard, target one other Ghost Trick card in your graveyard, add that target to your hand. Now, what that means is the beginning of the crazy rank 3s that we had in real Yu-Gi-Oh! That Burning Abyss and Phantom Knights used. PK Fire if you played actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Alucard is one of the really good rank 3s, being able to pop cards, and you could return another Alucard to the extra deck and loop them like you can with the Noble Knight loop. Because it says one other Ghost Trick card and doesn't specify his name, another Alucard in the grave, you can end up keep looping them repeatedly if you play 2, which is not bad. It's an 1800 body, it pops a face down, and the good part is it targets any set card. It could pop monsters, field spells, anything. Which is why it makes him really fucking good for a rank 3. Again, 10 out of 10 card. Didn't expect to get a powerful rank 3 like that so soon. Makes me a little bit curious if we might get something from the BA or PK Fire engine in the next box. I'm hoping. Probably won't because that's fucking a lot of power creep, but hey, anything's possible, right? Next up, Steel Swarm Roach. Where the fuck do I begin with Mr. Roach? Now, first of all, if you played real Yu-Gi-Oh!, you know Steel Swarm Roach was a bitch to deal with. You also know that his evolution, hopefully we never get it, Exciton Knight was a bitch to deal with. The theme here is anything involving Steel Swarm Roach was amazing. So his effect. During either player's turn when a level 5 or higher monster would be special summoned, you can attach one Xyz material from this card. Negate the special summon if you do destroy it. It's not once per turn, and it stops inherent summons, which is amazing. Now, if you don't know what inherent summons are, it's something like Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon, where it would summon itself, or Synchro Monsters. Like, it wouldn't stop the White Stone of the Ancient summoning out of Blue Eyes, but it would stop, like, Cosmo Brain summoning himself if you go against that, which is what makes him really good in the mirror. You could instantly just stop an alternative from coming out. They only have one that they play in the deck, one that they get from the skill. Killing that or killing the fusion or anything like that is a big fucking deal, meaning Roach is going to be most likely a staple in any rank 4 deck as long as we keep having high-level decks getting a lot of play. Because it also goes after Thunder Dragons, it goes after Light Sworns if you see it with Judgment Dragon. It goes after the Chaos decks. Steel Swarm Roach is fucking fantastic. I am very glad we got this card. Another top tier Xyz card. Brings back memories of Dragon Ruler format I didn't want to have brought back. Have to go back to therapy for those again. Next up, an Xyz monster that could be good. It's iffy. It's a rank 4, which is what makes it good. Number 70, Malevolent Sin. Again, it's a generic 2 level 4 monsters, 2400 attack, 1200 defense, which is actually really good stat lineup for this. And it's an insect, one of the few other insected seas monsters in the game. Once per turn, you can attach one Xyz material from this card, then target one monster your opponent controls and banish it till your opponent's next standby phase. At the end of the damage step, if this card attacked, you can make this card gain 300 attack, and if you do, increase its rank by 3. Now, the fact that it is a banish, it's like a bum version of Karma Cut, isn't that's one thing that makes it really great, because you go into this, banish your opponent's monster. With how big he starts off at, you only need one other monster to go for game. And again, rank 4 spam decks usually can put out multiple monsters. Malevolent Sin will allow you to go for an OTK quicker. And on the off chance you do not finish that turn, he'll go up to 2700, making him a really big, actually, I think the biggest rank 4 Xyz in the game, which is really good. And then the more times he's able to keep attacking, which I don't see him getting past 3,000, because I think after 2 attacks, 2 battle phases, you should win. But you do have 2 banishes with him as well. Again, you could also pump him up with different skills, where I think it's Yuma's skill, where you could give an Xyz monster 500 more attack. So he'd start off at 29, which puts him in line to run over almost everything in the game that you would have on board, with the exception of like a fully equipped out king. But to fully equip the king, he has no protection. You just banish him anyway, so it doesn't matter. Like, Malevolent Sin is a great out for big boards, and has a good matchup against Noble Knights, which again, they do not have Excalibur to protect against targeting. The fact that he just removes the king, you lose your equips, he doesn't float, he loses his materials. Great fucking card. That's the great SRs. Now we get into the Photon Lizard. I'm gonna be real here. If you're playing Photons, please don't play Photon Lizard. I know that you don't have many options, and it's like a Stratos. And I'll read its effect anyway. Maybe a one of, but I wouldn't play Photon Lizard. You can contribute this card, add one level 4 or lower Photon monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Photon Lizard once per turn. He fucking sucks. He's a level 3. He has to kill himself to get you to search. Fuck this card. I don't like him at all. Photon Vanisher. This, again, another really good card for Photons. Cannot be normal summon the set. Must first be special summoned from your hand while you control a Photon or Galaxy monster. Cannot attack the turn of the special summon. Can only special summon Photon Vanisher or Vanishers once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can add one Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your deck to your hand, and then the Xyz monster that was summoned using this card on the field as a material gains this effect. Banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. Now let's go over what he does. First of all, another free summon to the board as soon as you have a Photon monster or a Galaxy monster. Perfect to spam out Lord Galaxion or Starliege Paladynamo. Really good. Also going to other rank 4s, obviously. You can, and then once he's special summoned, you just search a Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Again, very good. He gets you a +1 by being summoned. And then that means you only have to detach one material with Starliege Galaxion to get out your dragon. And then the extra icing on the cake. Anything that is Xyz summoned with him that kills something now banishes it, which will get around the fact of Noble Knight's King, which is again one of the best decks to beat, if not the best deck in the format, which I believe is the best deck in the format. You get over King by running into it with a monster, it gets banished, doesn't trigger. Absolutely fantastic. Great for Photons. I would say you need this at 3 or at least 2. Again, another great SR. Next up, we got something for the Gagaga players or Dododo players, or whatever the fuck it's called. What's that thing? Onomatopoeia decks. Gagaga Head. Level 6, 21, 2000. Now, this card text is small as shit, so bear with me while I try to read this. If your opponent controls a monster and you control no monsters, you can normal summon this card without tributing as a level 4 monster. Let's just read that. That's all it did. It basically gives you a free 2100 beater that's a Gagaga. Not bad, but also really good. It turns on your deck. Then, The other effect, when this card is normal summoned, you can target up to 2 Gagaga monsters in your graveyard, except Gagaga Head. Special summon them. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, except by an XYZ summon that uses only Gagaga monsters as material. An XYZ monster that was summoned using this card on the field as a material gains this effect. That is XYZ summoned, draw 1 card. For Gagagas, fucking amazing. You get a mini version of Stick / Chair, where you get to draw a card with XYZ summoning. Lets you pull out up to 2 Gagagas from the graveyard, which makes it a lot easier to go into Evil Swarm Ouroboros, which is a powerful ass 3 material rank 4, or go into other multiple rank 4s because you could special summon other Gagagas. So again, excuse me, I gotta take a drink. My throat is killing me. Again, really good card. I don't know if I play more than one because you have to have no other. It's basically a Cyber Dragon type effect. I'd say maybe max of 2, but it's still a really great card and it gives Gagagas more options. I like it. Gaga Head, really good. This one is the really good card. Dododo Dwarf, Go 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 Glove. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 Zubababa or Gagaga monster from your hand, and if you control a Go 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 or Dododo monster, except Dododo Dwarf and Go 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 Glove, while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Dododo Dwarf, Go 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 Glove once per turn. Now here's where it gets crazy. From what I know about Automata decks, they do play a mix of all of them. So, you get the special Zubababa Gagaga from your hand by him just being on the field. And if you have him in the graveyard, you can then special summon him back. If you use him as an Exceeds material, he doesn't get banished, so you can keep reusing him. And if you play, I think it was Zubababancho, Gaga, whatever the hell it is, where it's like all of them at once, it lets you trigger all of his effects whenever you need to, which is absolutely amazing. I think it's a 3 of for the Onomatopoeia decks, or at least a 2 of. If I'm remembering how Automata plays, because I don't main Onomatopoeia. I know about it off the top of my head, but I don't remember the deck list. I main Noble Knights. I apologize. I'm pretty sure this is a 2 or 3 of in Onomatopoeia. Next SR, United We Stand, because I guess we're going to get this 4 years too late. The equipped monster gains 800 attack for each face-up, 800 attack and defense for each face-up monster you control. It'll be good in farm decks and Unga Bunga decks, getting up to 2400 extra attack, and if you have 3 of them, 7200, but it's not that great as an actual meta deck. Who cares about it? Next up, Hammer Shot. Destroy the face-up attack position monster that has the highest attack. Again, I really don't know why. It also kind of sucks ass, because if you have the highest monster, it kills your shit. So, I just really wouldn't recommend this, honestly. Like, I genuinely fucked my Hammer Shot. Now, the rares. I'm only going to go over ones that I think are really good. First up is Photon Papilloperative. Again, another good generic rank 4 that was actually used for a while in Yu-Gi-Oh! And we barely had any rank 4s. It's a generic warrior, 2 level 4 monsters. Once per turn, you can attach 1 Exceeds material from this card and target 1 defense position monster on the field. Change it to face-up attack position, and if you do it, loses 600 attack. Now, you probably won't run into many decks where there's any face-down monsters. The rare chance that you do, though, Photon Pappy makes them a lot weaker. It's 2100, so unless the monster already had a lot of attack, you're probably wanting it over. It's a pretty decent, good, generic rank for it. For being a rare, I'm happy with it. I might not use it. You might not use it, but it was played in a variety of decks throughout the course of the Xyz era, maybe even if it was just for one-off occurrences that never happened, like against Shadals and stuff, but still, it isn't bad. Photon Pappy is not a bad card. Photon Alexandra Queen, now, okay, it needs 2 Butter Spy monsters. Automatically makes it shit because it's not generic. Its effect, though, is really good, where you can detach material from this card, return all monsters on the field to the hand, and inflict 500 damage to each player if each card returned to the hand. It's not bad. It also bounces itself like a piece of shit, so it's not great, because it doesn't say return all other monsters, But if you can't out a monster your opponent has, it doesn't target. It's non-targeting removal, and it won't trigger any effects. I don't know when the fuck you'll be playing Butter Spies to get this bitch out. And if you are and you get her out and that wins you a duel, well, fuck me, that's awesome. I really don't see where you're going to use this. Paladin Photon Dragon, again, it's another card. Photons. You can ritual summon this card with Luminous Dragon Ritual. You can tribute this card. Special summon one Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from your hand or deck. This card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard. Draw one card. It's basically the equivalent of the Paladin of White Dragon, except you draw a card, because I don't remember if it lets you do that. Not bad, not great. I'm not even going to go over the ghost tricks because they don't fucking matter without their field spell. Dodo Witch, good for the actual Dodo parts, where it's when this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon a Dodo monster from your hand in attack position or face down defense position, except Dodo Witch. 10 out of 10 card for Dodos. It's like a Destiny Hero Drill Dark, whichever one that lets you special. So that's not bad. Dodo Witch is really good as a rare. Good for Dodos. Dodo Swordsman basically pairs up with her, because you could special any Dodo. This card is flip summoned. While this flip summoned card is face up on the field against 3,500 attack, when this card is flipped face up, target up to 2 face up monsters on the field and destroy them. Really good. Jumps up to be bigger than a Blue Eyes. Pops 2 cards. Again, for what they are, they're really good. They're not bad. I don't know how much they help Dodos as a deck by itself, but they're really good. Blue Mountain Butterspy, again, is another generic rank 4 spam that was used in warrior decks. Usually it was used in Rongomniad Turbo, but we don't have Rongomniad, so it doesn't matter. At one point, some Noble Knight decks played it. We will not be fucking playing that because we have a lot more than when Noble Knights actually played with this. But when you normal summon a warrior type monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and it cannot be used as a single material monster. But again, you get 2 monsters for the price of 1. If you're playing a warrior toolbox deck or a rank 4 warrior spam deck, again, I'd recommend playing Blue Mountain Butterspy then. Galaxy Storm. Why? Like, you could just, I get, you know, if you're playing Galaxies, you could search this with Kite skill. And since there's no limit to how many times you can use the skill, it's not bad. You can target one face of Exceeds monster on the field that has no materials and destroy it. It's a quick play. It's not terrible. It's not great. You want to tech it in as a one of, go ahead. Photon Trident. It's not terrible again because you could search it. But it's not as bad as real Yu-Gi-Oh! Target one face-up Photon monster you control until the end phase against 700 attack, and if it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to the opponent, and when it inflicts battle damage to the opponent, destroy one spell or trap on the field. Not bad. Not great, not bad. Maybe a one-of, because again, you could search it. I don't really care for it. Sees double back. I'm not even fucking reading this. It sucks. Luminize. Gimmicky. If you want to negate an attack while you have light monsters, but fuck Luminize. Fuck Bouncer, Butterfly Oak, none of these. Twin Photon Lizard. Don't even bother. Now, Photon Saber Tiger was actually played in Photons for a rank 3 engine at the time. Because when it's normal or flip summon, you can add another Photon Saber Tiger from your deck to your hand, and if you do not control another Photon Saber Tiger, loses rating attack. It was mostly just used like spamming for rank 3s or getting monsters out quicker. I don't think we're going to need to use it because we don't have 40 cards in this game. We don't have 8,000 life. Photon Saber Tiger kind of fucking sucks. Photon Leo again. That fucking sucks. Circle. Fucking sucks. Photon Caesar was gimmicky because if we don't get Galaxy Knight, I could say maybe play 1 or 2 Caesars because it's if you normal it, you special a Caesar from the deck that's instantly lets you go into a rank 8. That isn't bad. I'll say Caesar on a scale from 1 to 10 is like a 5. He's average. Like, it's not bad, but he's not great. If you want to play it, then I can understand why you'd want to play it if you want to spam rank 8s more with Photons. Photon Pirate. It was kind of played because you could go up to 3K with Pirate. It's a level 3 to go into rank 3s, which don't really have any of the great rank 3s right now, but If you want to play one pirate as a one-of to banish photons and gain attack, maybe. Fuck Ghost Tricks, we're not even going over it. We're not going over this either. This card is bad. Well, alright. I take it back. If you're playing a Rank 3 Toolbox deck with Karma Cuts and Discard Traps, Light Serpent isn't bad, because if it's sent from the hand to the grave, you can special summon it from the graveyard. Lets you go into Rank 3s. Gimmicky, situational, but not terrible. Eh? I maybe you might play Overlay Sentinel in a Rank 4 spam deck. When this card is normal summoning, change this card to defense position. If you control a phase of Xyz monster that has Xyz materials, you can banish this card from the graveyard. Target one monster your opponent controls. It loses 5 unit attack for each material attached to a monster you control. I don't know why the hell you'd play this, honestly. Like, I'm trying to think of a way. Fuck this card. Giant Red Sea Snake. Because we gotta get a shitty vanilla. No, 2 shitty vanillas. Firecracking. Galaxy Wave again. Why the fuck? You could search it, but you're only dealing 250 damage every time you Xyz summon. Why would you play this? Luminous Dragon Ritual. Not bad. You need it for the ritual, obviously, if you play it. So it's not bad if you play that. Because it has a secondary effect. You can banish from the graveyard and banish monsters. Special Paladin Photon Dragon from your hand. So you don't actually need to have it in your hand for that. So it's not a bad card. Fuck Overlay Capture. Shallowtail Butter Spy. In case you want to play a Butter Spy deck, you need to play it. Because I don't think we have any other Butter Spies. And when another monster you control inflicts battle damage to your opponent, target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It loses attack equal to the battle damage inflicted. Sure. Moonlit Papalion. Again, you need it for Butter Spies if this is sent from the field to the graveyard. Special summon 1 level 4 or lower Butter Spy monster from the deck. I really don't recommend playing Butter Spies. Daybreaker, when this card is special summoned, you can special summon Daybreaker from your hand. That is fucking awful. You would need a way to have multiple in your hand and special summon it. Fuck that. Berserk Scales also sucks. Photon Cerberus. Again, situational. It stops your opponent from activating traps for the turn while it's face up on the field, so could allow you to go for OTKs without worrying about back row, but eh. Oh, another Butter Spy. I forgot. We got another one. Hooray. Morpho Butter Spy. Once per turn, when the battle position of an opponent's monster is changed, except during the damage step, you can target one of those monsters that loses 1,000 attack and defense. But as you can see, it basically pairs up with Photon Papal Operative, where you flip something up, and then it loses 600, it also loses 1,000 more. So, you know what? Butter Spies might be a decent free-to-play deck, because they're all low rarity. If you're going through the box anyway, to get the generic stuff in it, you might play this if that's all you got. I wouldn't recommend it, but it might not be a bad deck at Duel Links, maybe. Blade Bouncer, I'm not even gonna fucking... It sucks. It's a neg 1. You got a Diction card, just don't fucking bother. Phantom Bouncer, again, if Bouncers weren't shit, this wouldn't be bad, because if it's destroyed, you search 2 Bouncer cards, but fuck it. Yeah, we're not even gonna go over Chop Man. That card's ass. And that's shit. So that's the box. Overall, really fucking good URs, SRs, and rares. Everything else is iffy. I would say it's a guaranteed 1 rotation, so you can get one of every new Xyz that's UR and SR in the box. For Go players, Galaxy players, Dota players, you're probably going to go through it 2 or 3 times. Galaxy players definitively will go through it 3 times. Overall, I would say if you're a new player, I would recommend going through it for Dweller, Bouncer, Alucard, Roach, and Malevolent Sin. Mainly Dweller and Alucard and Roach, because they will just stay good. Because they're really good levels, 4 and 3. Overall, out of 10, I'd give it... I honestly would give the whole box a 10 just because Dweller is in there. Dweller is such a good fucking card. That's the main dwarf this whole box is Dweller. So I hope you enjoyed. We will be doing some pack openings when this comes out next week. Hopefully, we don't have to go through the box too many times to just get the XYZ we want. Because I do not want to spend any money. And I don't feel like grinding up a bunch of levels, but I do want to go through the box to make some videos. But that's neither here nor there. Again, I would recommend going through the box at least one time. One rotation, bare minimum. If you get the other stuff. Wait, caveat. If you pull the Dweller, the Alucard, the Bouncer, blah, 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 all of that before you finish the rotation and you don't care about anything else, just stop. You don't have to go any more than that. So that'll be all. I hope you enjoyed. Please stay tuned for more content and videos and more Duel Links content coming up. And I hope you enjoyed. Gamers Paradise, signing out.